Hey guys, welcome back to California Cooking. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. 'Tis the season for holiday parties, so I want to help you get ready in a snack. First, I'm making some festive appetizers. Then we're mixing up some specialty cocktails. My mom is back and she's showing me how to make a Christmas cookie recipe that's been in our family for years. And finally, if you're looking to celebrate something special this holiday season, Christina Pascucci is taking us to a restaurant with spectacular views and the most amazing food. First up, I love the idea of small bites, especially this time of year when you have friends and family over and you just want to nibble on something. So I made a few appetizers that are quick and easy. It's holiday party time, and you have family and friends coming over, so a good appetizer to have in your back pocket, I think, is important this time of year. And this one is gonna be easy, colorful, and actually, I think, kind of healthy. I mean, it's feta cheese. This is a block of feta, and usually it comes in liquid, so I patted it dry to make sure it's nice and dry. And then I'm gonna whip it with some Greek yogurt, and then I'm gonna make this beautiful salad, like almost like an Israeli salad, with really finely chopped veggies on top and pita chips. So we'll see how it goes. I've not made this before, but I love cheese, and I love dip. So what could go wrong, I think, you know? So I'm gonna take this feta and put it in the food processor. To that, some Greek yogurt, not too much salt, and I'm actually probably not gonna add salt just yet because feta cheese is very salty. 2 cloves of garlic, and let's see where we're at, and then I'll add some lemon juice. Okay, so I'm gonna get a platter, and I'm just gonna, so look at that. So what you wanna do is you just wanna make a bed of feta, and then I'll show you what we're gonna put on top. This is exciting, this is gorgeous. And I didn't add any salt. I tasted it, it didn't need any, it was salty enough. Okay. Usually Israeli salad is cucumber, tomatoes, parsley, lemon juice, olive oil, garlic, salt, pepper. I'm gonna add a few other veggies. Radish, I'm gonna add some red pepper too, and just colorful and pretty. So we start by cutting up our tomato, and we want the dice to be pretty small. That's the key to this. Okay, tomatoes in. Onto cucumbers. I like the little cucumbers. It's easier to chop and just do a fine dice. A little bit of radish, because radish is crunchy and it's red and white, pretty. Add a few of those in. Some red pepper for some crunch and color. All right, now veggies are done. A lot of olive oil. Good extra virgin olive oil. This is gonna be our dressing. Salt, healthy pinch of salt, lemon juice, parsley, finely chopped, and I'm gonna do a little bit of garlic, grate the clove, and look at the colors. That's what I love about this salad. It's gonna look so pretty on the white feta dip. So our whipped feta, and here's what we're gonna do. Right in the middle. Almost make a little well where they sit in there. And then our pita chips that came out of the oven, nice and crispy. Olive oil, that's it. Our pita chips, just pile them around. Okay, I have to try. I'm definitely making this for my next holiday gathering. Your guests are gonna love that one. So I changed for the party. I'm having a couple of people over tonight. So recipe number 2, appetizer number 2, super easy, Hasselback potatoes, or Hasselback. Hasselbeck is Elizabeth Hasselbeck. Hasselback are the way you cut potatoes. So these little potatoes, I would say it's like a 2-biter, which will make a perfect appetizer. So here's what you do. This is the trick. Take a wooden spoon, take your little potato. These can be done in big potatoes, but for this purpose, for appetizer purposes, get a sharp knife. And the reason you have the spoon is it stops your knife from cutting all the way through. Because the thing about a Hasselback potato is you cut these little cuts as thin as you can make them, but you don't go all the way through the potato. And then what it does in the oven, it crisps up, and then those little cuts become nice and crispy and delicious. And then we're gonna top them with some yummy stuff, like a loaded baked potato. So we have all of our potatoes cut, and I'm gonna put them in some melted butter. I have about 2 tablespoons of melted butter in the bowl. And then I'm gonna add olive oil, because butter can burn if you're cooking at a high temp, but I'm gonna put these in at 400. So add some olive oil, salt. Potatoes always need a lot of salt. Pepper. Might as well take our spoon since we have it out. Get them coated. You want all of those little cuts to get the butter and the oil all around the potatoes. What I'm going to use, I know not everyone has this pan, and I actually never use it to make madeleines, which is that shell-shaped cookie, but I do use them for potatoes because it's the best little nest, I guess, for my potatoes. So you put the cut side up. So I'm gonna put this in the oven. I have a pretty high oven, 400 degrees. They should be done within 30, 40 minutes. Our cutie little Hasselback potatoes are out of the oven, and see how they get nice and crisp and brown on both sides. I flipped them halfway through, and it's so easy. You can top them with whatever you like, cheese, bacon. So I'm gonna do like a stuffed baked potato topping. So a little bit of sour cream on top, some bacon, and then a little bit of chives. And there you go, you just have to go down the line. Voila! Yum, I'm all about the small bites. You don't miss a main course at all. And to go with those appetizers, you gotta have a specialty cocktail. So I got in the kitchen with a pro to show us how it's done. I thought it'd be fun to whip up some holiday cocktails. You know, something a little extra special for this time of year. This is Prairie Rose. Yes, her name is Prairie Rose, and that is the sweetest name. You said it's a blessing and a curse.
It is, yes.
How are you?
I'm well.
Holidays.
Happy holidays to you.
So I think it's so much fun that you actually are making a living talking about booze.
I know. I never thought this was going to be my life's path,
Yeah.
but I love it, and I love talking about spirits and wine, and it's one of my favorite subjects.
And you have a blog,
I
and what's the name of the blog?
It's called Bit by a Fox.
And a podcast.
And a podcast called Bit by a Fox Podcast.
And there's meaning to that phrase, which I wasn't aware of.
So Bit by a Fox is actually a 16th century term. So it's an old slang term from the UK.
Yeah.
It's a tavern term,
Okay.
and it means you've had a little too much to drink.
I'm sure you know all about cocktails, more than the average person.
Probably.
Yeah. So what are some things this time of year that people are drawn to, or a popular cocktail that people like this time of year?
I think people are drawn to dark spirits and spice and richer flavors.
Yeah.
And even in California, even in Southern California and Los Angeles where we are, it's actually chilly right now.
Right,
We're having a
right.
winter. And so I thought a winter sangria is such a fun thing. I think people think of sangria for the summertime.
Sure, yeah.
And this is kind of a richer winter sangria.
Take us through how you'd make this winter sangria, and what type of red wine would you use?
So in the summer, you want some lighter wine, right? You want like a Pinot Noir or Grenache, Garnacha if you're in Spain. In the winter, I love a red blend. This is a Meritage. This is a California. We're keeping it California here. So this is a California wine, Meritage, and it's going to be like a little bit more medium-bodied, a little bit more robust.
Yeah.
And so we start out with that. We
Okay.
could actually pour that in.
So start with something, either a punch bowl or something that you can pour for a crowd.
And then we just do a cup of brandy and also a little orange curacao. This is a half a cup of this.
Okay.
And we just do a half a cup of everything else. So
easy.
lemon juice
Uh-huh.
and maple syrup. And we're topping it with, so this is sort of the piece de resistance. This is what makes it super wintry, is this Reed's Strongest ginger beer. So this is a
how much?
booze-free, well,
Until we can't
until we can't pour anymore. Yeah.
Okay, I think we maxed
No,
out.
I think we did.
Now, I see there's some fruit and some spices here.
Yeah. So I just diced up some apples and sliced up some navel oranges, and we've got some cinnamon sticks and some star anise. So this is, you can soak this overnight so the fruit actually soaks in some of that alcohol.
This is where you can get creative
Yes.
too, right?
Yes.
And look how pretty it looks.
Yeah.
Now, how would you serve this?
So I would serve it, I would put a little ice in there, and then you could just top it off with that, and we could even add a little bit more ginger beer, so it has some effervescence. And then I would put like a little cinnamon stick in there.
With that. Cheers!
Well, cheers.
Pretty winter sangria.
Pretty?
That is so nice. And I was expecting it to be sweet.
Yeah, it's
Putting that
not.
maple syrup in, it is not at all.
It's not, nope.
It's perfect. We had so much fun with Prairie, and we learned a lot too. But if you want to see a few other cocktails we made, check out our Instagram at KTLA California Cooking. Coming up, if you're looking for a special night out this holiday season with breathtaking views and the most delicious food, Christina Pascucci is taking us to 71 Above. But first, I'm getting in the kitchen with my mom, and we're baking Christmas cookies. That's coming up next. It's so much fun this time of year when you can get in the kitchen with someone you love and bake. So my mom is in town, and I asked her to show me how she makes her Polish horns. These are cookies that have been in my family for years, but I never learned how to make them, so she teaches me how. Look who's in the kitchen. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Jess.
How you doing?
Good, honey.
Good, okay. So what are we gonna make today? Because it's the holidays, and holidays are all about cookies.
All about cookies, and we're making, I think they're your favorite cookies, at least that I
They're
know
one
of.
of my favorites, yeah.
They're called Polish horns, and I've been making them probably like 40 years.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna try our hand at that today.
Okay, I remember them from as far back as my memory goes. I thought for sure you would know the recipe by heart, but you don't.
Because I'm not a baker. I'm a
Right.
cook. I'm a cook, but I'm really not a baker.
And when Mom said, I've got to call Aunt Betta to get the recipe.
Well, Aunt Betta's the baker in the family.
Right. But every Christmas time, you and the aunts make the Polish horns. So we're gonna make these Polish horns.
Okay.
But they're pretty easy because you don't really need a mixer or anything
Such an easy dough.
special.
It's such an easy dough because it's the yeast-based dough, but you don't have to let it rise.
Right, which made me think of like pizza almost. Like a pizza dough or bread dough has the yeast, right?
The first thing though that we have to do, honey,
Yeah.
is we have to put the yeast and the milk together
Okay.
in a bowl.
Would a bowl like this be good? Okay.
And just let it sit for a few minutes.
So 2 packages of active dry yeast.
Right.
Okay. And now the evaporated milk, which is not to be confused with condensed milk, which will give you a much different.
Right. Yeah, it would be too sweet. There's no sugar or anything added to this dough.
So we'll let that sit for, what do you think?
Just 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, so we let the yeast and the evaporated milk sit for 5 minutes.
Right. Now we add egg yolks.
Okay.
3 egg yolks.
3 egg yolks, which you already separated.
Right.
So we'll
dump
put
them
those in.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
dumping.
Okay.
After that, well, we stir in the eggs a little
Okay.
bit, and then we're ready to add the dry ingredients.
Okay, so our wet is finished. Flour.
Yep. And it's just kind of a dump. 6 cups.
You don't have to sift or anything.
No, you
Yeah.
need to add a little salt.
Okay, pinch or do we measure?
I would use like a half a teaspoon right there.
Okay.
Mix that a little bit, and then we got to add the shortening. This whole 16 ounces of shortening go in, and then you get it in with your hands, and you get messy.
Okay. That first feeling is.
Yeah. Add the butter. Just add a little bit here at a time, and you got to mix that in too.
Okay, Mom, now it's about the filling for our Polish horns. A lot of chopping of nuts.
Yeah, very finely.
Which I suppose, I don't even know if you can buy them that fine. You kind of have to do this chopping,
yeah.
right? So our nuts are finely chopped, and then for the filling, eggs, 6
6 egg whites.
egg whites.
You're not going to
Okay,
use
Mom,
the
go
yolks,
ahead.
just white.
You do the honors, and I'll keep chopping.
Okay. Okay, we got to give them just a little bit of froth, not much.
Egg whites,
Egg whites,
no yolks,
no yolks,
the nuts.
the nuts.
All of them, a pound
A pound.
of finely chopped walnuts. Okay, 2 cups of sugar. And now Anything else, Mom? A little salt?
That's it.
That's it.
And then
Okay.
we just combine it together and chill it. That's
Yep.
it. And then it's ready
Now
to
we
go.
chill it because otherwise, if it was soft like this, it would just run out
It
of the
would
cookie.
run out. This, yeah, when we firm it up, it sits better inside the dough and it doesn't.
And guess what? We have one in the fridge.
Yeah, you did.
So we chilled our dough and our filling, and now we make balls. And
Lots of
then
balls.
they
Big.
turn into horn shape, crescent shape. But this is one of the
This
many
is where we
crusts.
sit at the table and we each have our stations and we just roll cookie dough all day.
It smells good.
Then when it's a ball shape,
We have some sugar.
yes, you mimic a pile of sugar
Okay.
and you just kind of get it, coated on both sides
Yeah.
so it doesn't stick to your
Right.
cookie sheet. Then you take a glass, and for us, this works the best. And you just,
Roll it
like
out.
you're making a pie crust, only in miniature.
Okay.
And then you roll it up like that. Then you take a little, this is a half a teaspoon,
Yeah.
give or take. I mean,
Doesn't really matter.
The
You just don't
problem-
want it to ooze.
the problem is your tendency is to go too heavy on the filling,
Yeah.
and then it slides out. So just a little dollop. This is where a good baker makes it look pretty. Sometimes mine aren't as pretty.
I've never made these with you.
I know.
I just ate them.
The other key thing is make sure you pinch really good on the seams.
Okay, now you're gonna take, we had a little bit of Crisco left in the
Crisco
can.
is the best thing to use as a non-stick,
Yeah,
better than a non-stick spray or butter.
okay.
And then you just start assembling.
In they go, 18 minutes at 350. Our Polish horns are out of the oven. Mom, these look good.
You do.
Are you happy with them?
I am. I think they're pretty.
Dad, you chopped some walnuts. You wanna come try a Polish horn?
Sure. This looks good.
Okay. They need to hire Dad for commercials. You know when you eat a burger?
This is where Levi gets his drama.
Good job, Mom.
Good job.
Those cookies instantly make me feel like I'm at home for the holidays. And Ari had them for the first time last year, and let's just say he polished off a whole tin. They're really good. Coming up, if you're celebrating something special this holiday season, Christina Pascucci is taking us to a picture-perfect spot. That's coming up next. 71 Above is one of the most beautiful restaurants in all of Los Angeles. It's so high above LA, it makes it look like the whole city is twinkling with Christmas lights. Christina Pascucci takes us there.
Jess, we're taking you 71 floors above Los Angeles. This is the highest restaurant west of the Mississippi. It has 360-degree aerial views of the entire city. I present to you 71 Above. Hey Jess, we're with Alex Hasbany. He is the GM of 71 and Above. Thank you for being with us.
It's great to be here. Thanks for coming up.
Tell me about where we are and I guess the claim to fame for the restaurant.
So we're in the US Bank Tower. We're on the 71st floor. We're at about 950 feet and we have 360-degree views of all of Los Angeles. This is the highest occupied floor in Los Angeles, at least at the moment. You can see Dodger Stadium, you can see the Hollywood Hills, all the way to Laguna Hills. And I think just the experience of it really does resonate on a very deep level for people, especially those that live in LA, because you can see, oh, you know, I used to work in that building, I used to live over in that neighborhood. And then you sit down and you have this incredible meal. Our inner mantra is we have to be so good at what we do that the view becomes tertiary. The restaurant was designed off a compass because we're 360 degrees. All the columns around the restaurant, we have the coordinates of which way you're facing in various cities and the distance as the crow flies.
Like you see Santa Monica and Malibu on that column.
Yeah.
We're with Chef Javi. He is the master behind these creations, the visionary, and what's so cool sitting here with you, we didn't even plan this out, but as we look out the window, we can see where you were born.
Yeah, it's actually a fun fact. I was born in that white building all the way across, about 2 miles away.
in East LA over there, yeah?
Yes, that's correct. Funny that I get to see it from my office or work about every single day. So
Isn't it so surreal to look out there and think back on your dreams and then see how far you've come and what you're creating now?
it is. I think it's important to, set goals, and now I'm top of the world, I guess.
You are, literally.
Yeah.
So tell us what we have.
This is salt roasted beets. You have pistachios, apricots, pluots. You also have tarragon and burrata.
So right now on my fork, I got the burrata, the beet, and what's that thing on the end? Is that a plum?
That's a pluot. So
What's
it's a
a pluot?
hybrid between an apricot and a plum.
And that was the most rewarding bite I've taken in a long time.
I'm glad you
It
enjoyed
was
it.
delicious.
It is. It's probably one of my favorite cheeses.
I mean, burrata is basically heaven.
Here we have our steak tartare. So it has a little bit of capers, shallots, herbs, horseradish. And then on top, a lot of local farmers market radishes and a seeded bread on the side.
All right, so you put it on like this?
Yes.
That's really good. That is delicious. All right, next one.
So we have braised mustard greens. We also have a king trumpet, mushroom puree, braised carrots, and a jus made out of brown butter, chicken jus, a little bit of soy. You took a little bit of the skin off, so we stuffed it with brioche bread, butter, herbs, and badouan, which is...
This was in between the
skin.
that's a good secret.
So it's like almost like putting stuffing underneath the skin.
Okay, I'm gonna try to use this trick when I finally learn how to cook. Chef Javi, thank you.
Thank you.
You were
Glad
the
to have you
man.
in.
Yes, it was so fun to be here. Where else can you dine where you get a view like this? You see Dodger Stadium, the Hollywood sign, all these iconic LA landmarks. Jess, I have an idea. Call the babysitter and date night for you and Ari.
That sounds like a plan, Christina. Well, that does it for us. We want to wish you and all of your loved ones a Merry Christmas. We'll see you next week.
Don't look at me.
Don't look at Mom and make her nervous.
He gets that goofy look at his face. I keep totally see you, and you're like,
Okay, so we'll let that sit for, what do you think?
just 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Dad can tell us a joke
Oh.
to pass the time.